I'd like to kind of open it up to questions if we have a few minutes. I think we do. Anybody have any questions about my work or how I work or anyone? Yes?
What made you decide to go away from supernatural and do psychological?
Well, I had this idea, and it's like I think a writer. All a writer's ideas are not basically in one area, So I have some other ideas other than strict supernatural horror that I hope to do someday. And I've just had this idea for a while. It actually began. I had the idea, and then I came up with this word "mind," and that kind of made everything gel together. It's amazing how words, just a simple word, can kind of get your mind started in a particular way. So it's not that I want to do supernatural horror again, but as a matter of fact, the next one I'm working on is kind of a horror, science fiction, not really science fiction, but it's set in the future, which is something a little different as well. Yes?
A number of your books that I've read seem to be set up for sequels.
Yeah.
Do you plan to write any sequels to any of the previous books?
I may write a sequel to Wolf's Hour someday, and I may take the family line into the future. But I kind of set everything up for a sequel, but I don't really plan on going back and doing a sequel to everything. I really like to leave it open and let the reader carry it on and do kind of a mental sequel himself, herself.
How do you feel about...
You didn't raise your hand, I'm sorry. Yes?
Now, I've seen the British Blue World. So is the content going to be the same as the American?
Yeah, the content's the same.
Okay, why are none of the stories from Night Visions 4 in there?
I think they were just done at different times, I guess. I think I had a deadline to get in a particular number of stories, and I guess I don't even remember. Yes, sir.
How do you feel, Rick, about becoming a hardcover again, since mine is going to be in hardcover? I mean, you feel, and do you think it's a little scary? Because
it is scary. It is scary because last time I did hardbacks, the bottom fell out of the publishing market. So I was 14 at the time. Every time I go hardback, the bottom falls out of the publishing market. We hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, it is scary and it's exciting too because I think the thing about paperbacks is it's great. They're inexpensive, but they don't have any kind of shelf life. If they're on a shelf for 2 weeks, you're lucky. And hopefully a hardback will stay on the shelf longer. Of course, I hope that doesn't mean it just stays on the shelf and doesn't sell. Right. But anyhow, anyone else? Yeah.
I wonder how much you read for pleasure.
I don't really read a lot of fiction for pleasure while I'm working. I read for pleasure. I read a lot of histories and biographies now. And then when I finish a book and I take some time off, usually in the summer, I try to catch up with my reading. Yeah. Anyone else? I know we got this one. Yes.
The Wolf's Hour, that idea, right, has been referred to, I think, in a very old book about German soldiers that turned into, not German, American soldiers. In the 1800s. Did you get your idea from an older book, or was that your own idea?
No, I'm not familiar with that story. No, I just thought this would be... See, I always wanted to do a James Bond type of thing. And I thought this would be a neat way to combine my interest in that sort of character with horror, with folklore. And I just thought it would be fun to do. So I'm not familiar with that story about it. But it was fun to do. It's amazing that every book is like a child, and then it takes 9 months to be born. And every book has its own personality. And it's amazing to me also that there is a point really where characters do take over, and they really do seem alive. I'm not exactly sure when that happens or why it happens, but it really does happen. Some books have been very difficult to write, and it's amazing that people say, well, Swan Song must have been really, really tough to write because it's so long. Actually, it was very simple to write. It was just really a straight-ahead story. The toughest one to write was Stinger. I got into that, and I was almost finished with it, and I realized I really screwed up because it's in such a small time space, 24 hours with a lot of characters. Everybody had to be at a particular place by the end of the book. And when I was approaching the end of the book, I realized I had really messed up, and one of the characters was not where he was supposed to be. So I had to go back, at least 200 pages pages and redo it. And that was nightmarish. So Usher's Passing was like 4 or 5 drafts. That was tough to do too because there was so much going on in that. It was hard to do. Mystery Rock was very easy to do. But it's amazing. Usually people think that just because a book is long, it was a difficult book to write, but that's not true at all. Any other questions?